Hi and welcome to this video blog. Thanks for linking in, glad you have. This is kind of a stand-up blog. It's not my normal posture. I'm normally sitting down with a camera on a stand and that, but here I've got my phone on a lampstand, and as long as it doesn't fall over and I don't knock it, it should work okay. So let's keep going. The thought for this time is leading in uncertainty. What trumps what? What takes precedent over what in uncertain times? And we certainly are in uncertain times here in Australia, where I am, in Queensland. We've come out of lockdown, but other states are in lockdown, and then things change, and some state will come out, some state will go in, and it's a state of flux. And wherever you are, maybe across the world, you will be in the same sort of situation. In those times, what trumps what? Because things change. And I want to suggest to you a few things that matter in that circumstance. So first one is this, that in uncertainty, principles trump plans. If you're a leader, you love plans. Most organisations, businesses, churches, not-for-profits have typically had a 5-year plan, maybe even a 10-year plan, and maybe in more recent times with fast changes, a 2 and a 3-year plan. But right at the moment, you can make plans and next week things change that you have to change the plan. And why I say principles trump plans is because if that happens, the temptation, if something's delayed or something's postponed, you may have had a project that you were planning to launch next week, or a program that was going to start in 2 weeks' time, and all of a sudden you've had to cancel or postpone or get another plan in place. And the temptation is to, because the speed of that, to not look through the principle lens, but just get something up, and it could be expedient, and that expedience could actually trump one of the principles that you have, and the principle needs to trump the plan. For example, you may have a principle that says people are more important than projects, but because you have to, change quickly, you might just forget about people and just get another project up and running quickly, and you will violate one of your principles. So in uncertainty, principles trump plans. Second thing I want to say is agility trumps the status quo. Agility trumps the status quo. We love the methodology we put in place. The methodology maybe we've had for a long time, or we thought about a lot and we've put it in place. We're always loath to change that. But in these changing times and in uncertainty, we have to be agile. We have to be able to adapt quickly. In fact, organisational psychologists have coined this new term. It's the third quotient. It's the IQ, which is the intelligent quotient, and the EQ, which is our emotional intelligence quotient. They have now this thing called AQ, which is the adaptability quotient, which is the ability to make changes quickly in an ever-adapting world. The ability to make the changes quickly rather than just stick back and hope it gets back to normal. And they call this the adaptability quotient, and somehow they're able to have ways of measuring it with people and leaders, etc. But the ability to be agile over just loving the old methodology you've always had and hang on to it as long as you can. Alvin Toffler, the futurist who's written that book Future Shock, said this, that the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who can't read or write, but those who can't learn, unlearn and relearn. We need to be people who are adapting and changing whenever the circumstances cause us to do that well, without sort of being rusted on to what's always been. Third thing, which is kind of linked to that, I'd say, is this, that in uncertain times, evaluation trumps complacency. Because we have to change quickly, and therefore maybe our new plans don't have the same due diligence or the same rigour that old plans have had, then they may not have the same amount of research, etc. done to them. So we have to evaluate quickly and continually evaluate. We have to be there to be able to make nuances to those new plans, to be able to just change them quickly if we have to be able to tweak if we have, or to scrap altogether if that needs to be the case. Evaluation, continual evaluation in our organisation is going to need to trump just complacency, sitting back, setting us on a path and saying that's it, no more. So there are things in leading in this uncertain time we need to understand what trumps what. The last thing I'd say is this, that leading in uncertain times, or any times really, is one we've talked about in previous weeks, is that who you are needs to trump what you do. That not to be defined by what you do, but to be defined by who you are. That you are a unique individual. And from a faith perspective that I have, you are someone who's created uniquely in the image of God, and God has got a purpose for you, and that gives you the value and the sense of well-being that you yourself have, irrespective of what you do. So who you are needs to trump what you do. So I hope that thought for this fortnight is helpful. In uncertain times, leaders, what trumps what? And to look at those and make a difference. Love your feedback. Feel free to give that on Facebook, on my website, timhanna.com.au, on LinkedIn, the YouTube channel. So take care. And in these uncertain times, please do take care. Stay well. See you next time.